Alright, good evening, sir. My name is Sean, and today I'll be presenting my part of the assignment, which is fire protection services. Shall we start? Okay. First of all, fire protection services. This must be involved in every place that we work, so that nothing goes burning down. So the first, I would like to let you know that there are three contents in my presentation. The first one is fire protection services. Second one is safety practices implementation, and then the third one is regulatory compliance. I'll start off with the first one, fire protection services. Okay, the main thing about fire protection services is installing safety equipment. There are 4 key points to it. Let's have a look. The first one is fire safety equipment installation. This basically means we have to set up fire extinguishers, alarms, sprinklers, emergency lighting, and fire resistant barriers for the first few bases of safety precaution. The second one is regular maintenance check, ensuring extinguishers changed, sprinklers functional, alarms working, and exits are unblocked. The third one is equipment accessibility, positioning safety equipment strategically for quick access during emergencies. This basically means, just like the previous point, try not to block the exits or safety equipment area, as if you block it, it may delay the process of clearing the building and saving lives. And the fourth one is compliance verification, installing equipment according to the BOMBA requirements, so that it is all safe to go and nothing is involved as illegal. Second is conducting risk assessment. First point is identifying potential hazards, to locate fire risk, flammable materials, and unsafe work practices throughout the construction site. Second one is evaluate risk level, assess probability and severity of each hazard to prioritize safety interventions. The third point is implement control measures, developing a specific protocol to minimize risk through elimination and engineering control. The fourth point is document findings. It basically means try to keep a document recorded at all times, so that you know what happened on which dates and specific days that things might go wrong, and those are the days that you need to keep track of reports and stored away in a safe place. The third one is monitoring hot work activities. The first point is oversight in hazardous tasks, such as supervising welding, cutting, grinding activities, and ensure that they are following protocol. The second one is fire watch assessment, designating trained personnel to monitor for sparks and prevent potential fires. This basically means try to prevent those sparks from igniting an inflammable object. Then the third point is equipment inspection, checking tools and surroundings for the fire hazards before starting hot work. The fourth one is permit verification, ensuring proper documentation exists before hot work begins in construction areas. This is to properly legalize, to show that you are doing this work legally and not illegally. Thank you. Training workers. First point, regular fire drills, practice evacuation and emergency response to ensure everyone knows the proper procedure. Second one is fire safety education, teaching workers about hazards, extinguisher use, evacuation routes, and emergency procedures. The third one is hazard recognition, help workers identify potential fire risk and appropriate preventive measures. The fourth is equipment operation, training on proper use of fire safety equipment and maintaining access to emergency exits. Last point of the first part is developing emergency protocols. The first point is a clear emergency procedures. Establish step-by-step protocols for fire incidents, ensuring all workers understand evacuation routes and assembly points. This is done so that they don't get stuck in the building and do not meet their inevitable end. And the second point is regular drills. Conduct monthly fire drills to practice evacuation procedure and test alarm systems. Third one is response team roles. Assign specific emergency duties to trained personnel for coordinated response during incidents. This is so that nothing goes wrong on the day that any emergency happens and things go all smoothly. Communication systems is the last part. Implement reliable alert methods to notify all site personnel during emergencies. That is all for the first part. Let's move on to the second part. Second part is safety practices implementation. First point of second part is proper PPE usage. If you do not know what PPE stands for, it stands for personal protective equipment. We shall begin with the second one. The first point is essential safety gear. Wear fire resistant clothing, gloves, safety glasses and helmets to protect against potential hazards. Second point is a regular equipment check. Ensure all PPE is inspected, maintained and replaced when damaged or worn. The third point is a training requirement. Workers must be trained on correct PPE usage and limitations for fire protection services. The fourth point is proper fitting. All protective equipment must fit correctly to provide maximum protection during the emergency. Second point is the second part is regular equipment inspection. First is check fire safety equipment. Ensure extinguishers, sprinklers, alarm functions properly for the remain accessible. To remain accessible. Maintain documentation. As explained earlier, keep a record of anything that happens. Always maintain those documents instead of deleting or throwing them away. The third part is follow inspection schedule. Conduct routine checks accordingly to regulatory requirement and manufacturer guidelines. And the last one is trained inspection personnel. Ensure staff are qualified to identify issues and perform proper equipment assessment. The third point of the second part is clear work zones. First up is clutter-free areas. Workspace kept clear of flammable material to prevent accidental fires. Second one is designated hot zones. Specific areas established for welding and cutting activities with close monitoring. Basically, they have their separate areas to work in hot zones so that the fire doesn't spread to the main part of the building. The third one is hazard separation. Flammable materials are stored away from ignition source to reduce fire risk. Access path maintained. Pathway to emergency exits, fire equipment kept unblocked for quick responses. Hot work permit. Permit system implementation. Enforce permits for welding, cutting activities with fire watch procedures. This is to just keep check so that we know what they're doing and to keep the permit as always. Safety documentation. Maintaining records of hot work activity, inspection and safer measures. Third one is trained personnel. Ensure workers understand permit requirement and fire prevention protocols. Fourth one is a hazard assessment. Identify risk before starting hot work in construction areas. This is to prevent anything else from getting ignited on fire or from preventing the whole building to burn down. The next point is a fire watch procedure. Trained personnel assignment. Designated staff monitor hot work areas for potential fire hazards. Second one is during hot work. This basically means to keep an eye on the sparks flames so that it does not ignite the surrounding material. Third one is a post-work monitoring. Inspection continues after completion to detect delayed ignition risk. The last one is a clear communication. Is to make sure that the fire watch team maintains proper communication with the working staff so that nothing goes wrong and nothing gets ignited along the process. Last point of the second part is flammable materials handling. The first part is proper storage practices. Keep flammable materials in ventilated areas away from the ignition source. Second part is clear safety protocols. Implement strict handling procedure and permit system for all hazardous materials. Third one is regular inspection. Conduct routine checks of storage areas to ensure compliance with safety standards. The last part is staff training. Educate workers on hazard recognition and emergency response procedure. And up to the last point, which is regulatory compliances. Okay, first point is Fire Services Act adherence. Key legal requirements. Construction sites must follow Fire Services Act 1988 and obtain bomba permits. Next part is safety plan submission. Detailed fire plans with emergency procedures must be approved before work begins. Third one is material storage rules. Flammable materials must be stored in ventilated areas away from the ignition site. Fourth one is equipment maintenance. Regular inspection of fire extinguishers and alarms by certified personnel with proper documentation. This is to prevent faulty usage later on when it matters. Next up is bomba permit acquisition. First one is a required permit. Bomba approval essential for construction activities, hot work and flammable material storage. Second one is application process. Submit fire safety plans, undergo site inspection and meet technical requirements. This is to prevent from illegal working and to not get fined. So this is the way to go, the safest way to go. Third one is a compliance verification. Regular inspection ensure adherence to permit condition and safety standards. Renewal procedure. Permit require periodic renewal with updated documentation and compliance evidence. Alright, next part is fire safety plan submission. Up first is the bomba approval process. Plans must be in requirement with the Fire Service Act standards before construction begins. Second one is comprehensive documentation required. Detailed emergency procedures, protocols, measure and evacuation routes must be prepared for approval. The third one is regular updates needed. Safety plans require revision as constructive progress and site condition changes. So fourth one is a site-specific consideration. Plans must address unique hazard and layout for each construction project. The fourth one is regular inspection documentation. First up is inspection record. Maintain detailed logs for all fire safety equipment checks and site inspections. Second one is compliance documentation. Keep permits, certificate and regulatory approval documents accessible and organized. Third one is incident report. Document all fire related incidents, near misses and corrective actions taken. The last part is a training record. Track employee participation in fire safety training and certification programs. Fifth part is worker safety training, regular training sessions. We must conduct a regular training session to ensure workers understand emergency procedures and evacuation routes. Second one is proper equipment use. train workers on how to properly use a fire extinguisher and wear proper PPE. Third one is hazard recognition. Teach workers on how to identify risk that might turn into a hazard and ways to prevent it. Fourth one is emergency response. Practice quick reaction protocols including alarms, activation, evacuation, and assembly point procedure. The last point of this is incident reporting procedure. First up is report all incident promptly. Immediately notify the person in charge, and they will plan out for immediate escalation of hazard and evacuation. Next up is document thoroughly. Record details, witness conditions, and actions taken for a complete investigation. The third one is follow proper channels. Submit report to supervisor and safety officer throughout established communication systems. And the last part is maintaining confidentially. Protect sensitive information with ensuring necessary details reach appropriate personnel. This is to protect the company's name and to not let it expose, as this may cause a serious reputation issue amongst competitors. That's it on my end. Thank you very much.